The year is 30 AD. Jesus has been sent down to humanity to spread the word of God. Mercy's damage boost is perfectly balanced, he said. But most people rejected his message. They hated Jesus because he told them the truth. Days later, Jesus was crucified. He died for people's opinions on balance in Overwatch. So God sent down his greatest angel to resurrect Jesus without line of sight to prove a point. These events would set in motion the plot of the cinematic masterpiece Neon Genesis Evangelion. Mercy and her damage boost have been a hotly debated topic within the Overwatch community, and it has only ramped up in discussion recently, resulting in damage boost finally being nerfed from 30% to 25%, which is honestly pretty big considering that damage boost has never been touched at all throughout the entire lifespan of Overwatch 1 and 2 existing. And the result of these monumental changes? Absolutely nothing. Mercy players seem to notice no effect playing the game, except for the obvious fact that now their damage boosted stat is slightly lower than it was before the change. But aside from that, playing against a hero with a Mercy pocket will still feel exactly as annoying as it did before, because despite damage boost being the one thing that people love to complain about, it's not at all the reason why Mercy pockets can be so effective. To illustrate this, let's talk about breakpoints. When talking about damage breakpoints, people are usually referring to how many bullets or how much damage it takes to kill a target. Using Cassidy as an example, as he has a very clean 70 damage primary fire, his breakpoint to kill a 200 health target would be 3 bullets, adding up to a total of 210 damage. Now the thing with damage boost is that it doesn't actually give new breakpoints to a majority of heroes against the standard 200 health target. Against heroes like Tracer and Widowmaker, sure, it certainly does give a faster time to kill due to them having less than 200 health. For instance, a Cassidy could actually one-tap a Tracer by getting a critical hit with damage boost, but these characters are built around being very fragile, with Tracer having extremely high mobility and Widowmaker playing from very long sight lines. Of course, the one exception to the breakpoint rule is Sojourn, who does get an important breakpoint from damage boost, being able to one-tap 200 health heroes with her railgun, but currently I think that's fine with Sojourn as she is right now. It's a bit different from when Ash used to have a one-tap with Mercy Pocket, because that was a problem since it was on her primary fire, which she can use very often. At least with Sojourn, the one-shot is tied only to her railgun, which she has to build up first, so it doesn't come up nearly as often as Ash's primary fire does. Honestly, I think they could maybe even give Sojourn the one-shot back to her default form so she can one-tap without damage boost, assuming that they actually adjust her kit and maybe make railgun charge slower and the charge lasts for a longer time, so that it's something that's more difficult to build up, but she can hold it for a little bit longer. But this is talking about Mercy, so let's get back to Mercy. Of course, tanks will always be affected as they have much more health, but because of that, damage boost isn't as much of a problem for them, since they have the extra health to tank the extra damage from a Mercy pocket. There's also a little something else that's much more of a problem for tanks than damage boost is. Zenyatta. There's also a few heroes that have more health than the average 200 health hero, such as Cassidy, Torbjorn, Mei, Bastion, as well as non-tank heroes with armor, like the aforementioned Torb and Bastion, as well as Brig. And armor does also factor into damage reduction, so technically these heroes do have more health than it seems like at first glance. So because they don't get breakpoints, heroes with a low fire rate, high damage projectiles don't gain that much of an advantage from Mercy's damage boost, at least against the standard 200 health hero. However, The same can't be said for heroes that have a high fire rate and low damage projectiles. These heroes will actually get a massive advantage from being damage boosted, as it will actually give them a faster time to kill other heroes compared to when they're not being damage boosted. Taking Soldier 76 as an example, as he's a hero with a low damage per projectile with a high fire rate, the base damage for Soldier's rifle is 19 damage per bullet. So to kill a 200 health hero, it would take Soldier 11 bullets to deal enough damage. With the older damage boost value of 30%, he would deal 24.7 damage per bullet, decreasing his time to kill a 200 health hero by reducing the number of bullets needed to kill down to 9. But even using Soldier as an example, nerfing damage boost down to 25% does not change his breakpoint for 200 health heroes. He would actually have to nerf damage boost all the way down to only 16% in order for Soldier to take 10 bullets to kill a 200 health hero, which is a pretty massive nerf just for damage boost to make it take one less bullet for Soldier to kill someone compared to the old 30% value for damage boost. So damage boost doesn't help for a majority of the cast with high damage, low fire rate projectiles, but does actually play a bit of a role for heroes that have low damage, high fire rate primaries like Soldier 76. But what if I told you that there is another form of damage boost in the game that's even stronger than Mercy's damage boost, and it isn't an ultimate ability? It's called not missing your shots, you fool. You silly Billy. You absolute buffoon. You... Yeah, when it comes to DPS duels, accuracy plays a much larger role in who wins the duel because that just means more damage. Taking Soldier 76 into account, if the pocketed soldier misses just 2 bullets, then the unpocketed soldier now has the same exact time to kill if he gets a clean set of shots with perfect accuracy. And if more shots are missed, which is very common in a lot of fights, then yeah, the pocketed soldier has an advantage, but it's not something that you can't overcome by just being better than them. You can also add in critical hits into the equation, but I consider that to be more of a wild card than something that should be used just in standard calculations that I'm doing. Let's look at a recent example from a game I had real quick. I am playing Bastion here. I'm about to fight the enemy team's Bastion. He's missing a small amount of health, but he starts his transformation before I do, so he gets to fire on me for a bit before I'm able to do anything to him. And while you may not be able to see the gates because of the replay viewer is really buggy with ultimates sometimes, he is under the effects of KarQ's ultimate giving him a 50% faster fire rate, which translates to a 50% boost in damage dealt compared to me. So who wins here in this duel? It's me. The answer is me. I always win. So what happened here is more obvious looking at each of our point of views slowed down. My tracking was just more consistent than his, so despite him dealing more damage due to the KarQ ult, I still got the kill because I just hit more bullets than he did. And I'm not saying damage boost is bad or anything, just that it's not broken or the problem with fighting a mercy pocket like a lot of people seem to think. The problem for me personally comes down more to pocket healing. Damage boost has no impact if the target that is being damage boosted misses their shots, but pocket healing will always impact the outcome of a fight as long as the target has taken any damage at all. So this is the thing that I find much more annoying about a mercy pocket, is just when they swap to the healing. So let's get back to when we were talking about Soldier 76 and how many bullets it would take him to confirm a kill against a 200 health hero. Without damage boost, it would take 11 bullets to kill. Mercy damage boost reduces that down to 9 bullets. Now let's assume instead that it's a Soldier 76 mirror match, and instead of being damage boosted, the soldier is now only being healed. So he has to hit 11 bullets to kill the enemy soldier. And for the enemy soldier to kill him, assuming perfect accuracy, how many bullets would it take? The answer is 16. Just being healed constantly lets the Soldier 76 tank 5 more bullets. And this is assuming perfect accuracy. Let's say you have pretty damn good aim, but it's not perfect. You're fighting a heal-pocketed soldier and your accuracy is, say, 70%. How many bullets will it take to kill the pocketed soldier? The answer is now 28. It will take you a full 3 seconds and basically a full magazine in order to kill a 200 health hero that is just being heal-pocketed by a mercy from the very start if you have an accuracy of 70%. Now let's run an experiment. a Soldier 76 mirror match where one is being pocketed by a Mercy that only heals, and the other soldier is being pocketed by a Mercy only using damage boost. These soldiers will both have perfect accuracy without critical hits being factored in. To facilitate this, both soldiers will be using infinite ultimate and firing at each other when the wall between them comes down so that they make LOS and start firing at the exact same time. So now, let's begin the experiment.
I've got you in my sights.
As you can see, the heal-pocketed Mercy was the one that won. We even ran the same test a couple more times to account for any weird differences, and the heal-pocketed Mercy won every time. It's fair to note that we did do this on the current patch, so it has the 25% damage boost, but I tried to calculate it having the old 30% damage boost, and I don't believe that it would have changed anything. And again, this is with perfect accuracy from a tactical visor, and the soldier that is only being healed is the one that wins. If you take this to a normal fight, if any bullets are missed, then the healing would get even more of an advantage over the damage boost. Now, for duels factoring in accuracy, we need to use a hero like Cassidy, as he has a slower fire rate, so it's much more easier to simulate a specific accuracy in a dueling scenario than a hero like Soldier 76. So starting off, we have a perfect accuracy duel between two Cassidys, one's only being healed, the other's only being damage boosted, and this ends up being a draw. Both heroes take 4 bullets to kill each other, so whoever wins just comes to whoever fired the first shot of the battle. Next, going into a 50% accuracy duel, which is probably what's much more common in ranked usually, with the Cassidys missing every other bullet. The healing Cassidy easily clears. I mean, he's basically already back to full health by the time they each finish reloading. So next, to have a more fair comparison, let's go to the 66% accuracy duel, where they each hit 2 bullets and then miss the third. And then of course this still goes to the Cassidy that's just being healed. The more that heroes miss, the more healing starts to take a clear advantage over being damage boosted. Now, to quickly try and defend my testing strategy of having one hero only get healing and the other hero get only damage boost, it's mainly just to measure the base differences between the two. I'm sure there are very optimal ways to mix the two depending on matchup, or trying to tap damage boost whenever your pocket target fires a shot, and there's always a slamming onto heals whenever you see your pocket target take damage, but reaction speed plays a large role in the value that you get from these, and messing them up could easily get you less overall value than simply sticking with one or the other. And there's also just the fact that these are just examples in a vacuum. In an actual match, people aren't going to be dueling with the exact same accuracy, and even if you are able to perfect swap 2 damage boosts whenever a shot is made, if your pocket target misses that shot, you are still going to get less value than just healing. I also just don't like to include critical hits because it is very rare that you will see a fight where people will hit perfect accuracy critical hits unless it's something like a Cassidy or an Ass just popping off for a second or two, or 2 spin botters are just going ham against each other. So I like to assume perfect accuracy, with critical hits being more of just a wild card in actual games that could swing the outcome one way or the other and cause an upset. Again, everything I'm talking about isn't to say that damage boost is useless. If a target is at full health, damage boost provides additional value, while healing would not do anything. So if your pocket is free firing and not being targeted back, it's just some free additional value. And while damage boost doesn't give new breakpoints, it can help maintain standard breakpoints on targets in certain situations, leading to more consistent eliminations, which is always good. A prime example of this could be Lucio's Healing Aura or Brigitte's Inspire. Cassidy can normally 3-tap 200 health heroes with body shots, but if his target is in a default heal aura or has Inspire procced on them, it changes to a 4-tap, since even a very small amount of healing can deny breakpoints. The Cassidy being damage boosted turns this back into a 3-tap. Damage boost can also keep current breakpoints at longer ranges once fall-off damage starts getting applied for heroes that do have fall-off damage on their primary. So there is still a decent amount of value to be had from damage boost. But in terms of making fights against a mercy-pocketed hero feeling impossible to win, healing does that much better than damage boost does, and Mercy just has a very pocket-based playstyle where she just hangs around one DPS hero and enables them. Sure, heroes like Ana, Baptiste, and KarQ heal for much more than a Mercy, but they just don't have the same pocket playstyle as she does. If you're playing Ana and you see a DPS hero take 70 damage, you're not usually going to be immediately on them healing them, since you have 3 other heroes that you have to worry about keeping up. And if that DPS hero does get hit with a clean set of shots with decent accuracy, it's very likely that you won't be able to respond fast enough to start healing them up before they get eliminated. But Mercy is very different because she only plays around that one DPS hero and rarely does anything else, unless maybe it's resurrecting a target when it's safe, or maybe peeling for the other support a little bit. She also has an incredibly fast switch from damage boosting to healing. She just presses a different button and it's instant. Her reaction speed is the only limiting factor. Meanwhile, a hero like KarQ, even if they respawn the instant a hero has taken damage, KarQ's heals have a travel time. If the enemy has perfect accuracy or just hits a clean set of shots and, pops off for a moment, it's still very easy for the hero to die before KarQ's heals are even able to get there. There are some other supports that also benefit greatly from a pocket playstyle similar to Mercy. For example, Zenyatta. One of Zenyatta's greatest strengths is that Orb of Harmony enables the same pocket style healing that a Mercy provides for a DPS hero. But on top of that, Zenyatta also deals a lot of damage on his own, and he also has Discord Orb, which is very effective at helping burst down specific targets. Of course, Discord is always going to be good against tanks, but Zen is also a pretty good counterpick against a Mercy pocketed hero, because discording her pocket will cancel out some of the pocket healing with the added damage, making it far easier for one of your DPS to kill the pocketed hero. Now, let's talk about something that I think a lot of people seem to forget about when fighting a hero that has a Mercy pocket, and that is that it is a 2v1, you absolute fool. You are expected to be at a disadvantage in a fight against a Mercy pocketed hero because it is a 2 versus 1 scenario. Now, it is a 2 versus 1 scenario that you're able to win because, as I mentioned before, accuracy will usually trump over healing and damage boost in a lot of these duels. But it is still a 2 versus 1 even if it is one of the weakest 2 hero combos in the game. If you take almost any 2 other heroes in the game and make them fight against a hero with a Mercy pocket where they are just trying to fight each other, the 2 other heroes without the Mercy pocket will usually win because they will just output nearly double the damage. Now, the big reason that this is a problem in Overwatch 2 in particular is that nobody talks at all in this goddamn game. Actually communicating with your other DPS or even one of your supports to go help you fight the Mercy pocketed hero with you is extremely difficult to pull off with just how people in Overwatch 2 are. And a Mercy pocket is on the exact other side of the spectrum. It is an extremely easy duo hero combo to pull off and just go around 2v1ing people with. No communication needed. You just pick Mercy and then hold down your mouse button on the other hero. That's it. No communication or teamwork needed to pull it off. And that's the big reason behind it being so hard to play against. In addition, something kind of unique for Mercy pockets in particular is that they are really rough for a lot of tanks to play against, because you can't dive a Mercy pocket that easily, at least not without help from another hero. D.Va and Winston are 2 heroes that both rely on their defensive abilities, Winston with his bubble, which is super important, and D.Va with Defense Matrix, which isn't as important as Bubble, but it's still very useful. And they need these abilities in order to block their dive target from being healed so that they can finish them off. But Mercy is one of the few heroes whose healing is able to go through barriers, with the other 2 being Brigitte with her repair packs and Zenyatta with his Orb of Harmony. Also, Moira's Coalescence can go through barriers, and there's probably a couple other things that I forgot about that can as well. And again, Brig's Repair Packs is a big reason why Brig is used against Winston comps, just because Repair Packs can be applied from range, they heal a decent amount, and they can go through barriers. So if you're going to play as a dive tank and try to counter a Mercy pocket, unless you have perfect accuracy on a hero like D.Va or Ball, your only way to really deal with a Mercy duo is to first go after the Mercy, who can always just fly away back to her backline to save herself. And in this situation, chasing her to try and finish off the kill is usually a massive feed, because you're just going to be taking damage from the DPS he's pocketing the whole time, and then using your mobility to go even deeper is probably almost always a mistake. Or you could then turn around and try and 1v1 the heroes he was pocketing, but at this point you're probably already missing a lot of health just from trying to chase the Mercy away. So your only real option is chase the Mercy away, and then you kind of have to disengage or get out. So if you are a tank, it really does come down to your other team's DPS to either team up and fight the pocket together, or go in while you're going onto the Mercy and try to 1v1 the pocket, while you as the tank chase the Mercy away. And let's not forget that I'm just talking about the pocket healing and how annoying it is, because that's the real annoyance when fighting a hero with a Mercy pocket, not the damage boost. So yeah, people might disagree, and that's fine. I think everyone can have different views on the game, and considering how differently the game will play depending on a lot of factors like rank, what heroes are being picked, the meta, etc., it's pretty fine, and different viewpoints can all be valid under different circumstances. But I just want to rant about it because I see a lot of people complain about damage boost, and I don't think that it's a problem. But if they're actually going to make balanced decisions based on community outrage, even if it's something that I don't think really is a problem, then I think that it in itself could be a problem in the future, so I want to complain about it. That's basically it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment if you agree, disagree, and now to go into a brief little afterword. You may have noticed there's 2 new links in the description of this video. One is to my Twitter account, Cringe, I don't use it, also known as X. Not sure what I should ever do with it, but it's something that I have, so I may as well mention it. I might just post sort of Overwatch clips on it. Or another thing I used to do is little perler bead project things. You may remember them as those little plastic things you had as a kid where they're little beads, you put them on a board and you can iron it and make like a little shape or something. Here's an example of one I did, but I have a lot that I've made that I've never put onto canvas or done a nice background for. So I might just try finishing up some of those and posting them on Twitter. So if you think that's interesting, follow. If I ever make content you don't like anymore, then just unfollow. You don't have to commit your entire lifetime to following that account. But the main thing is that I've seen people put stream alerts on Twitter. I don't know if that's actually useful, but that kind of goes into the second link, which is my Twitch account. I've never tried streaming. I don't know if I'd be good at it or if it would even be entertaining, but I'm willing to try it out, and because of that, the link is there, and I've set a date for myself that I am going to commit to regardless of what happens, just so that I don't procrastinate and then put it off together. So Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will go live, and if you want to sew up, it would be a good way to chat and just like have actual interaction with people. It's still insane that nearly 2,000 people have even subscribed to this channel. I just like playing Overwatch and talking about it. But yeah, it'll just be a very chill stream, probably just chatting and then playing ranked and listening to music, because that's normally how I play the game. I'm not an extremely competitive or try-hardy type of player. But yeah, that's something that'll happen. Depending on how it goes, it might be something that never happens again, happens occasionally, or happens pretty often. I don't exactly know. So yeah, if you did get this far, thank you for watching. I'm trying something new with this video and editing it, and it's not perfect by far, but it's definitely a step in the direction I think would be better for making higher quality videos that aren't just me talking and then slapping some random gameplay in the background. But yeah, I think that's all I want to get out in this afterward section. Thanks for watching. More stuff in the future. See ya.